Looks like we got a couple of stream snipers. I get to insult Lovely Archer as well. Trash Archer. There we go. Throw that in there.
I can do that. What do you want? Ready to work, yes. We need more gold. We need more gold. Happy to.
There's a Bloomberg article.
Ready to work.
An article, you say?
Ready to work. Can't build there.
Look at that war mill. That's an antisocial war mill. Skill Master. No, I was actually thinking Shadow Hunter.
Ready to work, yes. Okie dokie.
Man, what the fuck, dude? We'll have a look at it afterwards.
Ready to work.
And then Larry's gonna get banned.
Work complete.
Again.
Ready to work.
He'll be doubly banned, which means that instead of having to beat 4 insane computers on a small map, he has to beat 8 insane computers on a small map. Double the price.
Ready to work, work. Yes, work complete. What do you want? Work. Something need doing?
Perfect micro.
Yes. Want to see something real scary? Work complete. What do you
Yeah! It is okay. Fuck, it is okay.
work complete?
We are hiding.
What you want me to go?
Who be my next big dab?
What you want me to do?
I kill fast.
Why?
We are enemies hiding.
Who you want me to kill?
Direct my
What you want me to go? Why? Dangerous ones. What you want me to go? What you want me to do?
Direct my blade. We are enemies hiding.
Tyrell, as if I'm gonna read that. Can someone in the chat slap Tyrell for me, please?
Who be my next big dab? Right.
What you want me to do? Work complete.
Direct my blade. We are enemies hiding. Who be my next big dab?
What you want me to go?
Use my power. Who do I kill first? It
What you want me to go? Why?
Move faster.
Let's start this off before his heroes here. Get as much experience as possible. Quick!
Just for
I'll let him have it. Greedy Lich!
Who do I kill first?
our allies hero has been slain.
Who be my next big dab?
Our allied town is being attacked. Work complete.
Use my power. Direct my blade. We are
Dangerous ones.
hiding. It be a pleasure. Yeah, man.
What you want me to do?
Use my power. Who be my next victim. Who you want to kill? Yeah, man.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Get our serpent wards set up. Oh, that Nova was insane. That was so much damage. See? Perfect micro.
Who you want me to kill? Hiding. Who'll be my next victim? It'd be a pleasure. What you want me to do? Who do I kill first? Direct my blade.
Perfect.
Hiding. Use my power. We be charming. Killing. What you want me to do? Direct my blade. Who do I kill first? Who you want my next victim? Direct my blade. You want me to go? Use my power. Tasdingo.
Ah, I'll take it.
Hated of who? Killing real easy. Yeah, man. Yeah,
I'm just gonna go like super noob mass headhunters. Like crazy. Ooh. That was kind of nice.
Our allied town is being attacked. Our allied town is being attacked. We're under attack.
Oh, hello. Hey! Stop hitting my wards. I'm trying to stack them up. Stop trying to defend your base. Ah! Here comes the Crypt Lord. Watch out, boys. Crypt Lord's angry. I got so many serpent wards there. They're doing the Lord's work. If the fight goes on long enough, they'll basically win this, even though they shouldn't necessarily. It's because they're so good. A level 3 serpent ward now.
We're under attack.
Get him, boys! Are you really sure with this Fire Lord over here? Detroit regeneration beer kicking in, man. Boom! Look at the health they get from that as well. They don't even look that bad anymore. It's so cheap. I haven't even got an expansion. You just don't lose units, and then that's basically it. Just don't lose units. Bunch them up for some nice positioning. End of the line, boys!
Our allied town is being attacked. Research complete.
Oh, we got a best of 3 between Link and Overclocked. Is that what we got here?
Vengeance for Sulci.
Link is? Yeah, another viewer. What? I did actually.
Who you want me to be my next big damn?
I was confident.
Who you want me to kill? What you want me to go? My power. What you want me to do? Hiding. What you want me to be my next big damn? Direct my blade. What you want me to go? Who do I kill first? Who you want me to kill? My power. Vengeance for Sulci. Will be my next big death.
I mean, who is he? But more importantly, where is he? Where's Sexy Time? That's the burning question that often gets asked.
We're under attack. I can do that. Happy to. We need more lumber. Yes. What you want me to go? Something to doing?
Almost 500 mana. We can take Big Bad Foodie for fun. Give me a moment.
Our allied town is being attacked.
Just trying to work out where to TP in that situation. Like, I can TP here, but it's a bit boring. TP in here is a bit more spicy. I'll TP now. Gonna block him in. There's no escape. Actually, there is an escape. I can't block that completely.
Our allied town is being attacked. Yes.
Man, what the f— Get out! Yeah! You shall not pass! Bugger. It's expensive, this is. What? Fleps is having a go at me as well.
We're under attack. attack!
Vengeance for
Work,
Suji.
work. Can't build there. Okie dokie. I can do that. Can't build there. Happy to. Work, work. What do you want? We're under attack!
Fast. Right. Use
What do
my
you want?
power.
Happy something me doing?
Need some lumber, really.
Who you want me kill? Move faster. Where you want me go?
Yes. We're under attack!
Where you want me next, victim? Where you want me go? Vengeance for Suji. There are enemies hiding.
Thank you.
What do you want? Work,
I mean, at least once those go up, that'll protect his base. So it's harder for the enemy to just sort of get inside there. So he can sort of do his micro thing and stay alive. Further back. Level 3 Serpent Wards will carry this game. Overclocked is going crazy. You're out of mana though, boy. You're out of mana. Access is denied.
We're under attack!
Look at the Fire Lord. He looks crazy.
What you want me do? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Who do I kill first? Who you want me kill? Who be my next victim?
You're gonna have to join me in this base. You've got to go all in.
Hiding. Right. Direct my blade.
I think I'm done for, boys. This is the end of the line for me. Or is it? No, I got another heal. I'll let the snakes finish him off.
Who you want me to move faster? It be a pleasure. Where you want me go?
Victory dance. GG. Just a standard game of 4 versus 4 RT. I don't know. Is there a best of 3 between Link and Overclocked? Has the grudge match begun? Well, there it is. Link versus Overclocked. The grudge match is in place. You have an undead mirror, actually, on concealed heal. Best of 3. So the first player to 2 wins effectively wins. So we have Link with the altar and crypt. Very fast altar. Death Knight harass maybe with Rod of Necromancy. Overclock's crypt is quicker. So more emphasis on the ghouls. Actually with a pretty good build order because he skips the acolyte, the 5th acolyte, to proceed and get the altar and the crypt quicker with the cigarette. That's something you can do. It just costs you a little bit of gold, but it's worth it because you don't need that gold for anything if you're doing the normal build order. Going with the graveyard into the fiends. Link going with the Death Knight. And he has the Tomb of Relics set up. So, graveyard as well. Okay, so both players opt in for fiend gameplay. Overclock's hero. Oh, it's not going to be Firelord, is it? If it's going to be Firelord, he didn't need to get his altar up quite so early, but there you go. The little timer at the top actually doesn't work, does it? It's still at 0-0. But at least you've got some UI here to show you some information for the players. Their gold, lumber, food, the amount of workers, amount of army. Yeah, it's going to be Firelord. It's actually going to try winning 1 versus 1 with Firelord. I'd start to hedge my bets towards Link then in this circumstance. It's got 3 ghouls for the lumber. Death Knight is out. I kind of wanted to double click on the Death Knight at the top right, but I can't. My cursor just goes underneath the UI, as you can see. So it's like not actually clickable UI. But it does give you information nonetheless of the items that are on the hero. Rod of Necromancy. Actually creeping sensibly, rather than being aggressive. You can go to an enemy's graveyard, assuming that they have one, because if they don't, then you can't do this, but you can spawn a skeleton or 2 at their graveyard and use it to harass their acolytes. Overclock moving in. I think his creeping is going to be much faster though. Firelord really does excel fast at creeping, especially once the lava spawn splits. He could even move onto the Orange Creek camp, potentially be micros well enough, and brings another couple of healthy ghouls. Fiend is necessary though, he's lacking because he hasn't got the cigarette, so he's overcompensated with 2 now. His macro is almost as good as mine. Overclock. Oh yeah, sorry about the colours. I actually can't change the player's colours. Overclocked trolling as usual, so he picks like the colour that's closest to Link. Like if I try to change the colours here, set ally colour mode or something. They stay red. So, it is what it is. What are you going to do? I don't think this Creek camp's going to work because of Captain Purge over here. Ah, maybe. If you can get the Warden down quick enough, maybe you can actually. Yeah, no, he might be alright actually. I overestimated that Warden. Just needs 1 tick of one of these lava spawns and he's good. But it's hard because he's using them to tank as well. Skeletons can tank. Put a skeleton next to the Overseer and then lava spawn is free to do damage, but it might... Yeah, look at that. He manages to get the hit in time to proc. Therefore resetting his timer. But his timer is really low because it procced right at the end of its tick. Or its lifespan. Link actually aggressively taking another green camp. Level 2.5. Oh, that's nice to see the 2.5 numbers. Good items. Slippers of Agility and Ring of Regeneration. Those are really, really good items. Particularly for Overclocked, who obviously likes the Firelord a lot, so he's going to be using it a lot. So the hero can take a lot of damage and dish it out as well. Link's got Slippers of Agility. Very not good on the Death Knight, but Unholy Aura. Since level 2 will help with the health regeneration. Effective Ring of Regeneration. Overclock with the expansion is pretty powerful. I'm not sure if Link's going to scout for it. You could use 1 skeleton to send it down. Just to get that information. It's all easy to say this stuff though, because I often forget. You'd think it'd be so easy just to send like 1 unit just to scout all the time throughout the game, but you'll be amazed how much time passes before you actually bother to do any of that. And before you know it, your opponent's had an expansion for like 5 minutes and you're like, how did they have it for that long? Level 3, so that's level 2 lava spawns most likely. Not sure if I can see what his abilities are. I think you have to pay for that. This is the War Free booster. Add-on that gives all of this UI that you can see.
A player's forces are under attack.
Link still not level 3 yet. His tech is almost done though. On 2 and 3 is on the way. Wow. Powerful stuff. It's scary when an undead just goes straight to tier 3. The quicker they can get Orb of Corruption, the quicker they can destroy it. Lich is kind of pathetic in a way. I don't know if pathetic's the right word, but he's not as threatening. But as soon as he gets that Orb of Corruption, boom, it's such a power spike. Yeah, the Orb of Quam. Scroll of the Beast, kind of useless item unless you're trying to do a push, but there's nothing to particularly push other than an undead base, and we know that doesn't go well. Statues. This will be level 3.6, will it? 3.5, damn. Stingy. He's... the Ritual Dagger. Yeah, get rid of that. I wonder if he's going to pick up a Shredder. Yeah, it's hard to resist a Shredder, isn't it? The good thing about picking up a Shredder, at least as undead, is you can just bring all of your ghouls and make them part of your army. Ah, Link is actually rolling down with a Crypt Lord as his second hero, and Overclocked has a very exposed expansion that's only really just started to tick. A level 3 is a guarantee from this Creek camp, and then Overclocked isn't too far away, so he's in a good spot for it. I hope they're not stream sniping. I assume they're not. The Skeleton Scout shows nothing. I thought the Rubian Crypt Lord was for Link for a moment. My apologies. It's for Overclocked. 1 or 2 Acolyte deaths are pretty eminent here. imminent. Overclocked, persistent on finishing this creep camp. It's the sort of thing I would do. It's kind of stubborn, really. Kind of just have to let those acolytes drop. 2 down, 3rd one on the way. Didn't really accomplish too much. Barely 500 gold mined, if that. So it hasn't paid for itself, this expansion. Tier 3 is finished. Abomination's on the way, so a much better sort of build setup. Overclocked statue is stuck. Oof. Overclocked trying to defend the base. Looks like OC should be able to handle this because his Fire Lord is pretty scary, especially with the right clicks on the Death Knight. Good body block in there with the illusion. Really putting a lot of pressure there very quickly. Saves the expansion. We'll bring that back with the acolytes. And Link is kind of forced into a situation where he can either go do a big red creep camp or try to continue putting pressure on. I assume that you kind of have to put pressure on, but you don't always want to. Because you might not even be able to be successful in doing so. So if you can't actually continue to pressure this, then you're just losing any sort of advantage you might have whilst he's vulnerable with the expansion. Orb of Corruption is now on the Lich, so that would allow better focus fire to bring down particular units. The statue is free. This gold is really going to start to pay off now for Overclocked from this point onwards. See, it's not a terrible thing to try to mess around with that creep camp because he's just putting himself between himself and the opponent whilst trying to get some creeps done. Or the right clicks with the Orb of Qualm. There's no heals, no Death Knight, no coil. So the focus is once again on Death Knight. So Link's got to play around with keeping his Death Knight close enough to coil, but also staying far away enough from those Fire Lord right clicks, which stack up more and more with the Incinerate damage. That Incinerate's really popping off. That's like 60 damage a hit there. That's a lot from a right click from 26 to 32 damage. So you can see Incinerate really does tick off. It stacks the more hits you get. Overclock losing another Fiend. Link's hero is going to go down. There's no coil for it. No invul. Death Knight looking a bit lost. See, this is part of an issue, right? Link in trouble. Oh, the secured kill. Overclocked now well and truly in the lead after that. Not only does he bring down the heroes, but he also gets to keep the expansion. So that was a horrible position for Link. So Captain Hindsight will simply simply say, use your skeleton to scout, and this situation probably wouldn't occur because you'll be able to hit that expansion earlier. Not that there was really any defenses there in the first place, but you could still hit it as early as possible. But now, this is the tricky thing. Like, he's in this position where he can't really hurt the expansion. That's pretty expensive just to get a level 2 Lich from the tavern. So he really can't afford to lose this. Death Knight is now coming from the altar, so he's miles behind. He kind of has to secure an expansion and then just not make mistakes versus Overclocked with future battles. Because Overclocked's got like a bit of a lead now. He's getting close to 2,000 gold from this gold mine. Gold mines aren't necessarily always a success though. Because if it costs you more gold to keep it alive, then, well, that's how you lose games. That's how people lose games when they got a gold mine. And they spent like 7,000 more on resources, but it's 7,000 more trying to keep up with what their opponent is doing to them damage-wise. You keep losing units and having to replace them all the time, and your opponent doesn't. This is a big experience right here for Overclocked. Pick off the little ones, really. So the Fire Lord can stand true. Link has a good opportunity for creep jacking. A little bit of stalling though. I guess he knows. He knows now. He needs to move in fast. Overclock does have a town portal. Needs to keep that Lich alive. Let the The ghouls and the abomination do the talking, whilst the fiends hit from the flank on the left-hand side. Overclock choosing the town portal rather than trying to position here and fight this. The rest of the creep camp does go to Link, and he can get a nice item from the Red Drake if he's able to take it down. No web though. There's been no reason to build web. So repositions the Lich. If the Lich comes back over here, he can right click. He might be worried about Overclock coming back though, which would be a fair concern. So looks like he's going to move away from that. Got a lot of ghouls actually. They could turn the tide. Overclock's got a pretty good balance of abominations though. The ghouls are actually really quick at destroying things, as long as you can keep them alive. Very respectable. So I've lost games before where I felt like I had a really good advantage over my opponent, but I went too many crypt fiends, and then they sort of like overwhelmed me with ghouls. And even though I've got healing scrolls and everything, trying to keep those crypt fiends alive versus like 40 ghouls or 40, 50 foods of ghouls is easier said than done. The item does go to Overclocked. Is it Khadga's? It's the Lion Horn of Stormwind, the rubbish one. But the armor will still help versus the ghouls. I don't think they can see each other. No, they must have been. It's daytime, isn't it? Or is this thing isn't working, is it? Because it looks like it's nighttime. But the little thing at the top shows daytime and 00, so that's definitely not working. Oh no. This is gonna hurt. There's no way that Link is gonna be prepared for this. Oh, that's painful. Right, here we go. Town portal straight in, but the Impale catches so many ghouls. Link does have the advantage of being able to pick up a healing scroll from his shop nearby, which would be a wise pick since all those ghouls just got very injured. Death Knight in trouble, but invulnerability this time. Stops the right clicks from the Fire Lord. Ghouls move in, picking off the fiends relatively quickly here. We've got 49 food for Link and 64 food still for Overclock because of the expansion. But I'd say that fight went pretty well for Link, considering, but didn't get necessarily enough damage done to warrant the situation because he's still behind, as he doesn't have an expansion to fall back on. So if he hasn't gone for his expansion at this point, he really has to now, because he's just too far behind. The more abominations Overclock gets, I think the more he seals the deal. I wouldn't say abominations are like the most amazing unit, but there's just no real counter to them, other than obviously frostworms or destroyers, but those are units that you can quite clearly see that Link doesn't have, so abominations are like a slow force that is hard to be reckoned with. The expansion, the smack talk, the ritual dagger, still. Okay. Link's army is looking relatively low. He's actually pulling the ghouls back for a hunker chunk of lumber. Looks like another good creep camp will go to Overclocked. I'd be surprised if this doesn't secure level 5, but because there's 2 heroes, it might not. He might be just shy of level 5, but it's a big creep camp, so we're going to see. It's actually pushing up to 89 food, so he's well within his rights to stay and keep any creep camp he wants. Oh, there's a frostworm. 2, wow, okay. Yeah, this is nowhere near going to be level 5. I definitely misunderestimated that. Right, looks like Link has picked off a unit or 2 for free, which is pretty good, but he hasn't got a town portal, so he's essentially jumping into a fight that he can't escape very easily. So he's going to cost him a couple of units himself. The frostworms are basically going to seal the deal here, I think. Those with those really long slows are causing so much trouble. Link's army is all over the place. Panic ensues. Overclock just has too much power. And game 1 goes to Overclocked. So, Overclocked spawning for game 2 in the bottom left of Northern Isles as a human player. Beginning with the barracks. So, probably going to go neutral hero again if it's not an altar to begin with. Which it is not. Link preferring his undead. Gotta be careful with that ghoul. Make sure it's still chopping the trees. Oh yes, I still have my budgie. I have 3 budgies. They climb on you and everything. Or 2 of them do. The 2 girls. They abseil. They're sort of like, they climb all over you, go up your shoulders, and then go all down your back and everything. It's amazing how much grip they have. They don't like coming on your finger though. But they'll fly on your head. I like try to position my finger deliberately between me and them, and they still find a way to just skirt over the finger and then land on your head. Oh, what the heck is this? Link going with some very unorthodox gameplay. I actually thought that might be a misbuild, like he meant to build a graveyard or something, but I'm scared to commentate in case Overclocked is stream sniping, and I don't want to give too much away, but I still have to kind of say what's happening, at least to a degree. Is the farm going to be built? Or is this like a straight tech? Because he can't build any more units. 13 out of 18. 5 food for a hero. Needs another farm. Otherwise, yeah. There you go. Ah, Dreadlord. This should be interesting. See if Overclock can worm his way out of this. Can I please turn off the wins loss on the bottom right? I suppose so. They're not doing anything. And I can change the score to that. Or that. Oh, what a series this has been. 10 games for Link, 6 for Overclocked. These 2 players are exhausted. Free Footman, Firelord on his way, because of course. Double pumping the ghouls. It's not easy to afford this, because you still have to get the cigarette, which is a chunk of gold and lumber, to allow for the ghouls to be spammed. So double crypt is pretty hard to pull off. At least we got better colours this time round. Green versus purple. Oh. You can't see the War 3 boost? Oh, sorry, my bad. That's because I've got them all linked together. So I'll have to click off the ones at the bottom. Like that. Individually. Has he scouted? He must have done with like a... Yeah, he did. An acolyte. Firelord trying to proceed to level 2. Got to pull those creeps out a little bit if you want to reach them as best as possible. Overclock's still tier 1, which might suggest an expansion. But he doesn't look like he knows exactly what it is he's trying to do. Essentially winging it. Aren't we all winging it though? Unless you're like a professional player who knows everything you should be doing at every point. That's certainly not me though. This is an unusual creep camp to go into, but with enough lava spawns, I guess why not? The vault is nice because you can heal up the injured units, because you're definitely going to have injured units after this, or dead units. Link applying the pressure. It's going to cause Overclock to stumble a little bit. He just decides to sit satisfied with the items. A tanky Firelord, so if he ever gets surrounded, he's got like an extra 7 armor.
Player's forces are under attack.
I'd just say sleep Firelord, ignore it, and go for the units. But the Firelord is being focused, and it's coming at a cost. Because he's actually tanking pretty well. He won't be able to keep this up though, but he can take a lot of damage. The lava spawns are ticked up, so maybe he is fine. Panic now setting in for Link. He's actually being beaten back again by the Firelord. The tankiness. The ghouls have lost their luster. Where is the Overclocked from? I actually don't know which country Overclocked is from. Ireland. Nah, I don't think he's from Ireland.
A player's forces are under attack.
Firelord is really punishing hard. Link looks very unsettled. Level 3 now on the Fire Lord. Level 1 Dreadlord feels so painful. The advantage should be going to the Dreadlord, really. This is another trick with 1 versus 1, is it's easier said than done, but you kind of really need to pay attention to the items your opponent gets. Although a lot of the time when you go into combat, you're not really looking at their hero or their items, but it really helps just to have a quick glance. If you can. If it doesn't cost you too much micro. Because that information about the Fire Lord being tanky would have maybe changed Link's decision. Good item with the circlet. He should have gone for like fast expansion or something, but he still prefers to tech. Overclock didn't actually go with expansion. He's sitting at 30 food though. His macro is kind of atrocious. Going to tier 3. That's what you're going to do. If you've food capped yourself, just screw it. Just keep teching all the way up. I can see the signs. There's familiarity there. I think Link's looking for like a bonus kill or something. But this is a lot of time spent. This will be okay if he can pick this off though, because that's one less creep camp near Overclocked. But he kind of needs to have a skeleton scouting for where Overclocked is all time. I think he's got Carrion Swarm. Must do. Carrion Swarm and Sleep. Overclock coming back for a mediocre creep camp at this point. Although 2 level 5s isn't terrible. Ah, does get the shredder there. This would be a really good time for Link to actually hit Overclock's base. Ghouls can do a lot of damage. I don't think Overclock's going to let it happen for long. But Link could at least get Overclock's attention. What's the plan? Yeah, tech up to tier 3, get the Ghoul Frenzy. Imagine if he gets the Shredder. This would be massive. If he gets that Shredder. That would be absolutely massive. Looks like he's in place to get it. Get that Shredder. Oh no, he wanted to go for the hero. I would have actually prioritized the Shredder in that circumstance. Oh no. Lich is here, at least to help, which is actually going to be pretty damn good. A couple of Frost Novas will make a big difference in this fight to come. A lot of focus on the Fire Lord, but the Paladin's there to heal, but he's actually aggressively going on the Lich, which means the Fire Lord's going to have to use his town portal, but the Lich will definitely die. Can he get a sleep on the Paladin? Yes, he can. Just about reaching. Overclock doesn't have tier 3 yet, so, well, even if he did, yeah, he wouldn't be able to reach in time, but you can get Staff of Sanctuary and save the Paladin. So Link gets a little something from that, but not really enough. I think that was pretty even, but I think it still favors Overclocked right now. Still more ghouls to come. Healthy brigade of riflemen and footies. Overclock's got to buy another town portal, which is pretty pricey, so that puts his gold all the way down. He's going to find out that there's nothing to creep as well. It's going to push him closer towards the middle of the map, or if not the side. Then Link has to decide what it is he's going to do. Are we going to see knights because the lumber mill is being put down? I think almost definitely yes. Overclocked eyeing up this troll camp. Moving in. Link looks too hesitant. Gotta go, go, go. Picking off the level 5s. What item? Got the Wand of the Wind. Can be very good in certain circumstances. I'm not normally a fan of it because of how situational it is though. I'd much rather have something like Mana Stone, which is always going to be useful. The Ankh is also an item you can pick up there. Overclock getting access to 2 good creep camps is a pretty big deal here. Once again solidifying his lead. Sobi Mask. Woo. That's the big one. 50% mana regen. Double barracks, pumping double knights. These ghouls do not look impactful enough under these circumstances. A lot of ghouls have been pulled off as well for an attack, but there's no lumber. Celemania, thank you very much there for the sub. Link can't even get a good creep jack. He needs ghouls on base for lumber, but at the same time he needs every unit he can to punish Overclock before he gets too strong. There's the sleep, but there's probably going to be Divine Shield, obviously, because you don't see an aura. So don't focus the paladin too hard. Just go on the units. Definitely prioritize the rifles. They will go down really quickly to ghoul focus. You got to put down a few ghouls on each rifle to try to get the most out of it. Overclock can't micro versus all of that. Rifles are way too slow and clunky. Lich staying way too far back. Needs those right clicks from the orb. Actually, real heavy focus on Overclock. Definitely going to focus and cause a town portal here. Nice sleep, but it's not going to last long enough. At least one Holy Light might even be aggressive on Link, but no. Good sleep there. Overclock does get the town portal. If he got the hero kill, which he won't, that would have been massive. Overclock's in a bit of a sticky situation here. You could have the Lich just sort of minigun turret a little bit. He's got to sort of squeeze his way out here. This would be a good time for Link to try to pick up another creep camp or 2 before Overclocked re-establishes himself in this position. 4.5 on the Firelord. There's a bit of a spicy one. Invulnerability potion, perhaps? That's a yes. Let's go. It's going all in on the items. So, 39 food. Oof. Still needs the ghouls at base for the lumber. I feel like this is a bit too much of an expense. Gotta solidify an expansion or something, because Overclock's tier 3. Even though there's tier 3 here, these are knights. Once you get enough of those, they should stand up fairly well versus ghouls. It's moving in. An easy pick off on the rifle. Is he going to be hero focused? There are a lot of ghouls looking pretty vulnerable right now. The Firelord is getting himself into a good position though. Time to back off maybe. Healing on the ghouls before they all die. Incinerate doing monumental damage. Level 5 is almost there. It looks very bad for Link. 27 food. Knights are trying to get us around on a Lich. Oh, there it is. Invul forced. Actually, no. He actually got the right click, pushed the knight away, but didn't move after it. Does actually decide to transition the town portal. I think Link's best bet really was to try to force Overclocked into some uncomfortable positions. AKA, human is hard, so trying to keep all of your peasants alive is hard. Ghouls are very good at destroying peasants, so use ghouls to destroy peasants. There needs to be multiple occasions where ghouls are sort of filtering in, and the best way to do that is to always be scouting where your opponent is with a skeleton rod or something, so that you know there's a good time to send your ghouls. If you know your opponent is over here or over here, then your ghouls are like, alright, let's go now. There's a good time window for you to do a lot of damage. Oi! That was completely unnecessary. Knights are charging forward. Oh, this is too late for an expansion now. You don't even have the lead. So 340 health ghouls versus 885 health knights. Siege knights. Can he get one knight down? No. Paladin says no. Yeah, one abomination is coming out. Doesn't manage to pick off a knight, but he's going to lose another slaughterhouse. All of the... No, he doesn't get the knight. Come on. It's like a death knight, that one. It's just sneaking right out. There it goes. Level 4 now. Lich going to be focused. There is a gap. Now it's between the Lich and the Dreadlord. Abomination's got stuck in the middle though. Overclocked holding too much power. I think Link might have to accept his inevitable demise. Another healing potion used. Quite a lot of consumables picked up by Link, which are expensive, as you can imagine, and don't serve much purpose other than to delay your death a little bit longer. Correct. Oh no. He's not even going to want to say GG now. Right clicks are strong from the Fire Lord. He's got the Gloves of Haste and the Claws of Attack. Paladin at level 4 as well. So you just can't mess with this. Save the ghouls. Dreadlord down. Oh wow. Good manners from Link there. So that's a hard game to come out of. Well, Overclocked takes the best of 3 in this grudge match series. Thanks for watching. Make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. You know what you need to do, right? I trust you can do it. I trust you. Take care.